What's up, you guys? This is Little May from YouTube, coming back with you again, the second part of my video series called My First Evers, and we'll be focusing on, the title will be called My First Love. If you guys haven't seen Childhood Memories, it's on my channel. Go check it out. Like the series from before, we're going to start off with 3 stories that I'm going to talk about, and the first one is going to be me first time meeting the person I ended up crushing on for a long time. Yeah. If you guys aren't a subscriber yet, please subscribe down below. Go check it out. Be part of the Braveheart army. But yes, we're going to start off with a story, then second story and third story. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy, and see you in the next clip. Alright, we're gonna start off the story 1. This is the first time I met this person. I'm not gonna say their name because, you know, don't wanna like bring up that wound again. But yes, the first time I met them, it was near the Kitsilano, swimming area. I know a lot of people who go to Vancouver, but that's where I first met this person. Yeah, I was 13, 12, about there. I was really young, and I mean, as cringy as I am now, natural being, I did not interact with a lot of guys, and besides the school times, like back then when I had to go to school for a little over like a couple of months, or a few months anyway, but I never really actually talked to a guy head on. But yeah, it was Kitsilano. I remember it was a party, my auntie's party, likely, because Kitsilano was our kind of place we went to do that. But yeah, I remember getting something from the car, and I got out and I was walking around, and then I turned to the side and I was like, wow. And the thing is, I didn't really know my tastes back then, but now I kind of an idea of what I like. But when I first saw him, I was, as a neat girl, I was giddy, and I was like, what do I say? Oh my gosh, do I talk to him? What do I do? I was just very, very unsure how to approach the situation. But yeah, I ended up seeing him a lot from there, but I'll talk about that in the second story of us like hanging out, and the next story for this. But I remember kind of like freaking out, and I was like looking at him, he was looking at me, and I was like I was unsure how to what to say, but the whole time I just kind of was quiet, but I was looking at him. I only seen him for a split, only a little bit at that time. But that story was the first time I ever glimpsed at another guy and was like, oh my gosh, this is my crush. This is officially my crush. And back then it was, easy to find, to see him, because, my relatives was married to technically with this person whose cousin and aunts and that one of the sisters had a kid. It was how, natives, we all have this weird thing where we have to explain how our relatives all work. But basically that close family friends, how I explain it, we're all able to see each other more often, so I was able to see him. But at that moment I was like, yep, this is my next crush. Like, oh crap, this is my next crush. And I was panicking, and I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, oh no, what if I mess it up and he runs away from me? But yeah, that was me back then. I was somewhat of just a crazy boy kind of girl, boy crazy, what they call them. Being only just a preteen. But yeah, after a while though, you'll get into the next story. It's gonna be crazy. Hey kitty. More cats. This video always says cats. But yeah, the next story we're going to be bringing up is the first time he said my name. That's the next story. Alright, we're starting off with story 2. Story 2 is the first time actually he said my name, and this is when we started to like see each other at like parties and that, and you know, and I was technically, because my cousins, all of us hung out, we're like, you know, regular teenagers hanging out, you know, and that. And he happened to come to one of the parties, and I was, you know, still obsessing over him, still cringy, and I think you could tell I liked him from the way I acted. I mean, I was very open book, so yeah. Afterwards, I was hanging out with him, was outside, and he was like being, you know, himself, like goofy. In my head, I was like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. But, you know, later you'll see later. But yeah, afterwards, we were walking to the car because he was leaving, because we were walking that way, and I was walking to like my grandma's house back then when it was its original state. But yeah, we were walking that way, and I was all happy, and I was gonna say bye to him, and I expected him to say my name, and he was saying bye to Eric and them, and Eric and Ben, my cousins, and then he would all of a sudden just said my name and said bye, you know, Amanda, because Mandy's technically a short term for Amanda. But I remember when he said my name first time, I was literally just like giddying, like, oh, he said my name. It's like, oh, it's the best thing ever. But nowadays, you know, being 24 years old, it's just, you know, okay, he said my name. But back then, that was my instigation, like, oh my gosh, we're friends, this is cool, this is amazing. That tree was crackling. Nervous. But yeah, we'll finish up the story with the fact is, back then, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it's moving up, something's gonna happen, you know, when I had this idea that, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever, and I was like, freaking out. I remember I went like, back to, you know, where I was sleeping at, you know, I sat in the bed, and I was like, oh my gosh, he said my name, and whatever. At like, you know, 13, you know, it's like the best feeling ever. But yeah, after that, I was like invested, you know, I got to hang out with him, I talked to him a lot. But like, you know, back then I was just very glazed over the idea of, you know, the idea of like love and that, and oh my gosh, it's like a fairy tale. Back then I was just, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to it, to the whole idea of glazed love. But yeah, that was the first time he ever said my name, and yeah, that was the whole situation of, you know, crushing on him. It was just anything he said towards me, it was like, oh, it's meant to be. Yeah. No. If you're listening to this now, no, it did not work. Preteen Amanda, it did not work. But Amanda here is going to explain to you guys the third story in the next clip, so hopefully you continue watching this, because I know I'm a little weird about this, and this is probably not interesting for half of you or more or less. Now here's the next clip. Alright, we're starting the third story, and this is the final story. This is a party, and this is like, you know, everybody goes to their crush's event, you know, just to see them, just to hang out with them, you know, get to know all their situation, you know, and see what their life is like, you know, because aside from just seeing them at your parties or hangouts, or that, you want to, you know, go to an event and support them. I went to his birthday party. My mom was bringing me to it, and we all went that way. And I remember sitting there panicking, like, my gosh, what if I see him right away? What if he's hanging out with his buddies? What if this is happening? You know, I was just panicking. And then I remember when I went into his house, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in his house, and I was like freaking out, and panicking. My mom went over to talk to his mom, and then my mom was like, babe, go say hi to him. Go say hi to him. And it's like, go say happy birthday. Go say happy birthday. And I was like, oh, you know, being like a teenager, I was just like, what if I say something stupid? You know, just like any teenager is like, I'm gonna say something stupid, and he's gonna sorry, cat scratching me. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, should I say something stupid? And then he like thinks I'm weird, so I had to think of like, how do I say happy birthday without, you know, melting into a million pieces, you know, falling, I mean, breaking into a million pieces. I know I said melt into pieces, but after me going happy birthday to him, this is how I'm gonna explain it, because a lot of people are like, you know, what could be so embarrassing about just saying happy birthday to somebody? Well, me saying happy birthday, I was as cringy as possible. I remember it very clearly. I was like looking at the door, and I think I don't know if I knocked, but I did something weird where I just like peeked over. I kind of just like, sorry, but like, I'm acting this out for you guys so you guys can see. I literally just went like this. I bent kind of like, you know how like you just peek over? Like I look like a meerkat, and I was like, in awkward, so I said, happy birthday. And I, my like knee was like up in the air like this, and I like that. I don't know why I was like, I had like this habit of putting my hands like this, and I just went, happy birthday. And that was it. That was like, you know, my best way of looking cool. Did not come off that way, but I was like, yeah. And I was like, where is he? And that was like my one word I said to him, and I was like, oh no. But yeah, that was my last, one of my good memories, was closest good memories I can get. But yeah, that was, now I'm going to explain how we're not friends anymore, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's still cool, because I'm assuring that you told him eventually. I said I did. That story is more sadder. This is like a short done story, is that me and him kind of like stopped being friends afterwards. You know, I stopped talking to him. Is after I said I liked him, and he sent a message that was very clear to me that he wants somebody that's, you know, crazy. Because like a lot of native girls, you know, you want that wild native girl. I don't know what went through his head back then. You know, he was like a teenager, but basically after that we stopped talking. And then after his observation of me confessing to him, and him saying that, oh, he wants this kind of girl and blah blah, and I was like, okay, I guess that's the end of that friendship and any possibility of anything else more. You know, it's like, basically he was a jerk. After I stopped liking him, I was like, yeah, I don't see us working out in any way, so friendship was bye, and basically we're not friends any longer. Hopefully he never sees this video ever, but basically the thing is, he is a jerk, and I'm so glad, so glad I did not, you know, fall into the trap of, you know, changing myself for somebody, because, sorry, like anybody else, you should always remember, don't change yourself for anybody. That's how I learned when I got older too, is like, hey, you know, when somebody tries to tell me change for them, I'm like, no, you know what? It's not worth it to be with you. And I want to tell you, everybody who's a teenager right now, anybody who's, you know, is able to watch this video, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people can't watch it, but if you have a sibling or a teenage, like, niece that, you know, or somebody that you just bring to this video, and just remember that people are going to tell you to be a certain way, or are going to make you do things, but just remember, it's not worth it to change yourself for somebody else's amusement. But that's in the third story. I will be saying, alright, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, a car again. And a car again. And a car again. But I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you guys want to subscribe, if you guys want to share this, go ahead, like this. If you relate to this, comment down below. I will be posting again next Saturday, hopefully, if I can get the animation to do it again. But I'm gonna try to keep this minimum every Saturday upload, but I make no promises because sometimes I will forget sometimes. But yeah, every Saturday will be upload schedule. So yeah, hopefully you guys all have a good day, and see you brave hearts who watch this continuously, this channel. I appreciate you, and please have a good weekend and enjoy the close ending to this year. And yeah, so I'm a little peace out. Bye bye.